Hi, this is Greg McIntyre with McIntyre Elder Law, hanging out in sunny Miami Beach. We're at the end of the beach, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Steph, could you pan around and show where we are right now? I'm sure you'd agree that it's absolutely beautiful here. The video is about the 3 most commonly held beliefs regarding aging, money, and estate planning. We're going to attack those today, and I'm going to do that as an elder law attorney and estate planning attorney with years of experience. I see people all the time that either have these commonly held beliefs or did not dispel those, did not know ahead of time, and have gotten themselves into really bad situations with money and estate planning and long-term care situations. So let's talk about those today. Let's attack those. Let's correct those, and let's put out what the reality is, okay? So the first one is Medicare will pay for my long-term care. Long-term care being in-home, assisted living, or nursing home care. Medicare will not pay for your in-home, assisted living, or nursing home care. If you have to go to an assisted living facility or nursing home facility, Medicare will not pay for that, okay? So, what will Medicare pay for? Generally, the first 20 days of care. Let's say, heaven forbid, I had a stroke because I was having too much fun in the sun and I had to go to the hospital and they stabilized me. Now, you would agree, I'm sure, that the hospital is not a place to stay long term. They're going to stabilize me. Then they're going to move me to a rehabilitation facility, okay? That rehabilitation facility, I'm going to stay at and I'm going to work on getting better. I'm going to work with physical therapists. They're going to take care of me. I may not be able to get out of bed. I may be. I don't know. It just, everybody has a different situation. Let's say in this case, I was not able to get out of bed. I went to physical therapy. They worked with me, or they came to me. I worked through it. For the first 20 days of that, Medicare is going to pay. And then after that, Medicare will pay, as long as I'm continually improving, a partial payment on the next 80 days. So you'll hear all the time that there's 100 days. But rarely do I see someone make it the full 100 days before a call's made by the physician or physician's assistant that this person needs to go home, this person's better, or this person needs to be in assisted living care or nursing home care, skilled nursing care. If that happens, even within that 100 days, Medicare stops paying. You can file an appeal on that. However, those are the rules, okay? After the 100 days or within that time, if Medicare stops paying and you have to go to an actual assisted living nursing home, let's say I had to go to a nursing home because I just had not rehabilitated. The doctors did not think I was going to get continually better and continual improvement, that I had plateaued, and that was going to be where I was, the level of activity, the level of movement, the ability to walk, the ability to transfer, I had a certain level that I was at, and that required skilled nursing or nursing home care, and that they didn't see that improving, okay? So at that point, who pays? You pay. You pay out of pocket, okay? I have a few dollars, literally dollar bills left after hanging out in Miami Beach with my wife for the last few days at a conference that we've been at, but you start paying out of pocket. And the sad reality is that many people don't have deep enough pockets. They lose everything they've worked for their entire lives in the last few years of their lives. Who can pay if you're in a long-term care situation and Medicare has stopped paying? If you have long-term care insurance, which I would highly recommend, then long-term care insurance can come in and start paying at that point. If you have I mean, long-term care insurance is what I call the unicorn because it's so rare. But when people have it, it can save their entire life savings. In addition, it gives them time to work on an estate plan. It gives them plenty of time to say, hey, I've got 5 years worth paying for my husband's care. Let's go see Greg. Let's go see an elder law attorney. We can work on an estate plan because we failed to do so in the past. This is why planning ahead is so important, by the way. We failed to do so in the past, and we can go ahead and protect things so that husband's taken care of and wife doesn't lose everything they've worked for their entire lives. So that's why long-term care insurance can be extremely important. If you have questions about long-term care insurance, call our office. Call our office at 704-259-7040. I will run that number at the bottom of the screen now because we can help you with long-term care insurance, okay? We can either help direct you to a professional that can take care of that, or we can help you in-house. But call our office, okay? Also, if someone has failed to plan, how can they avoid losing all money and property? Well, they could have done proper estate planning ahead of time, okay? They could have placed a certain amount of money and property into an irrevocable trust, like a Medicaid asset protection trust or a veterans asset protection trust, which can help for qualification for veterans benefits. Veterans benefits is another benefit that can pay for assisted living or nursing home care, or at least help add the income so that you can pay for assisted living and nursing home care. If you would like to talk about estate planning, pre-planning, which I call estate planning because we're looking at that long-term care piece. We have one eye on that piece. I have three eyes, okay? Two are looking at you and what's going on. The other is looking at the long-term care piece, the likelihood, what's your health, what's this, how close are we, and is that a reality? You may be surprised to know that according to a 2005 Department of Health and Human Services report, 70%, that's 70%, 70 out of 100%, 70% of people over the age of 65 right now on planet Earth are going to need some type of long-term care. Okay, maybe in the United States because it was a United States study, but 70%, okay, are going to need some type of long-term care. That's huge. That is better than Vegas odds, right? And Vegas wasn't built on winners, right? It was built on losers, okay? So don't put yourself in that precarious situation. Plan ahead. Planning ahead costs less. Planning ahead will give you peace of mind. Planning ahead will give your family peace of mind. Planning ahead will give your spouse peace of mind. And peace of mind means a lot. I was worried the last few days. A couple of those days, I did not sleep well. My wife, who's holding the tripod right now, can tell you that. Stephanie, when I'm worried, do I sleep well? No. Absolutely not. The reason is because I have these things on my mind that are bothering me. I have this weight on my shoulders. And how good does it feel to lift that weight off your shoulders? So goes the mind, goes the body. Stress can wear on you. Stress can worsen your health. I want to have good health. I want you to have good health. So for better peace of mind, estate planning can help with that because you're not worried about what's going to happen to what you've worked for your entire life. You have peace of mind knowing that you're in good hands, that you're going to be taken care of, that you set up the correct foundational documents, that you protected money, that you protected property to make sure not only that you are taking care of the rest of your life, but also that your children and grandchildren will be taken care of also. And that may be very important to you. I'm going to tell you a story. As a young man, and many of you might think I look like a young man today because I shaved my beard literally 2 days ago, and I've got a little baby face going on. However, my wife and I have almost been married 20 years. As a young man, I remember getting married to her, being scared to death. I know she was. Stephanie, were you scared?
Never.
Never scared?
Never
You had total faith the whole time, right?
Definitely.
All right. I was scared. I worried about how I was going to take care of my wife. I worried about how I was going to take care of myself. I worried about how I was going to take care of our children. But then, as we started having children and more children, we ended up having 6 children, and right now she says that we're done. Is that right?
We are done.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you say so. I'm still working. We're still negotiating that, okay? But 6 children at this point. We have 1 young man in college, Jordan, at the time of the filming of this. He's just turned 19. I can't believe we have a child that old, Stephanie. I was just so proud that we were able to send him to college this year for his freshman year. We were able to do that. Give me a high five, Steph. We were able to send him to college this year and take care of our family and take care of our other children and take care of ourselves. Through the years, you know, we bought a house. That was a huge achievement. I was so proud to have a house that's ours, Stephanie, and we pay for it, right? Give me another high five. And we're saving some retirement. We're saving for an IRA, right? Both have an IRA, right? And we save some and set aside. But we talk all the time about how hard it is to set aside any money that we make, that we get paid from our firm. It's just so hard to save it when you have a family and 6 children and they're going to school and you want the best for them. And I mean, you know, we're not necessarily I'm not a name tag or a name brand guy, you know, as far as I just want something that looks decent, and you know, I'm not, you know, as long as it looks decent, I'm good, and I hate to pay too much for it, right? But we're trying to save. And then taxes. Do not get me started about taxes. Stephanie, I love paying the IRS money, don't I? No. I mean, to try to get home with just a little bit of the hard-earned money and property, you know, or the hard-earned money that we make, is very hard. And I would bet that many of you out there watching also had a similar or the same experience. That's where we are in our building process. Take a snapshot of us 20 years down the road. I'm 44 today when we're filming this video, okay? I know I look 25, but I'm 44 today, okay? My wife looks 20, all right? But,
Okay.
what?
I said, oh, okay.
Okay. She's happy about that. Get a hug later. So, at the time of the filming of this video, I'm 44. 20 years down the road, I guarantee you, geez, Steph, you know, our kids will have probably gone through college. We might even still have someone in college because we have a 5-year-old. But you know, hopefully they'll have gone through college. I would bet we'd have quite a few grandkids by that point, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
You think, if we're lucky?
Right.
And I would bet that I'm still going to be working, hopefully as hard as I am, and have the energy I have today. That's my wish, right? I hope so. But you know, that will be 20 more years that we have worked to accumulate assets, to try to put our kids through college. We may be absolutely broke in the poorhouse. I might be living in this park we're filming with at that point, because we've already sent 6 children to college. Okay.
Never gonna happen. You work way too hard for that.
I work way too hard to get there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate that. So, when I am in my retirement years, I don't want to be stressing over losing everything we've worked for along the way, and I know you don't either. So to gain peace of mind, what should you do? You have to look at doing some estate planning or pre-planning. The second commonly held misconception is, I'm married, I don't need an estate plan, I don't need a will, I don't need a general durable power of attorney, I don't need a trust, I don't need anything done. I don't need to think about how to protect assets because I'm married and my spouse is going to receive everything anyway under the rules of intestate succession, which is dying without a will, which are laws. I like to call it the state's will, okay? And that is absolutely wrong. Could not be more wrong. In fact, your spouse, depending on how long you've been married and the laws in your state, is only going to receive a portion of what you have, okay? It could be 50%, it could be 1/3, depending on how many children you have. Many times it's based on that. So to ensure that your spouse gets everything, and if you're a spouse, listen up. You may not get everything if your other spouse passes away without a will. You may have children that you're sharing ownership of real estate with. You may have children that are splitting your husband's IRA or bank accounts or however you have your estate plan set up. So just be aware that is a commonly held misconception that needs to be dispelled. Your spouse may not get everything if you pass it without a will. The third commonly held misconception: I've got plenty of money. I can pay for long-term care, nursing home, assisted living, in-home care. Number one, I'm going to ask you to participate here, okay? Raise your hand if you wish to go to nursing home care. I do. Steph, raise your hand. Said no one ever, okay? No one ever does that. No one chooses that. So if you want to be able to pay for care in home, there are ways to do that. Long-term care insurance is one. The second might be to do some trust planning, to make sure you have assets set aside to help you pay for that. The third might be to maybe have a plan that allows you to roll to a benefit to pay for it. But many times the cost of nursing home care, which can easily cost between $60,000 to $100,000 or more per year, will quickly spin down incrementally each year, even a large estate, even a large amount of money. If you want to prevent that, you need to plan to prevent that. There are preventative plans that can be put in place. I've discussed some of them earlier. So estate planning, trust planning, there's many long-term care insurance. There's many things that can be done to help you have peace of mind and plan to save your hard-earned money and property. Many people have that common misperception that I sit down with all the time and commonly held belief that they have plenty of money. I sit down with a wife who's had a husband in nursing home care for 2 years and is scared she's going to lose everything because she didn't plan ahead and neither did her husband. They didn't plan ahead as a family. So if you're a family or you're an individual out there, we can help. We can help give you direction. Some of these plans are, how about every plan is extremely tailored. It's individual to you and your specific makeup of assets. It's also specific to your goals and what you want to do with your estate, how much you want to protect it versus how much you want to give away. Gifting could be part of the strategy, or how much you want to keep everything and control it till you pass away. That's fine too. I love that type of planning. In fact, that's one of the tenets of our practice, which is keeping the senior in control of their assets for the rest of their life while giving them the long-term care options to afford it if they ever need it. Because of the high percentage, 70% of seniors, according to a U.S. Department of Health and Human Services report, are going to need some type of long-term care, in-home, assisted living, or nursing home care during their lifetimes. So don't sit back and rest on your laurels thinking, hey, we've got plenty of money, it doesn't matter, it's not going to happen to us. How many people have said that and ended up losing everything, sometimes including their homes? If you are interested in protecting your home and protecting your hard-earned money and property and still being in control of your assets and leaving open long-term care options as you age. If, heaven forbid, you find yourself in that situation, call our office. We'd be glad to help. We'd be glad to speak with you. 704-259-7040, and tell them that you saw this video, okay? My grandfather, Worth McIntyre, my dad's dad, was in assisted living care around 14 years. I want to say a little over 14 years. He was in an assisted living facility that was great. He enjoyed it. He just needed some help with medicines and other things. But he lost everything. I have a grandmother on the other side, my mom's mom, who did do estate planning. And she ended up protecting everything and leaving the home and other monies to her children, to my mother and the two siblings. So I want you to be aware of those stories and what happens. My grandfather, Worth McIntyre, worked his entire life, to get a small farmhouse in Lattimore, North Carolina, that ended up being lost to healthcare issues involving he and his wife. And I hate to see anyone lose their home or lose other money and property because they didn't plan ahead. I hate to see anyone lose their hard-earned money and property when I know that I could have helped. If my grandfather would have had me there to assist, then I could have helped. I could have helped with his situation. There are many, many tools that are available to me to do that. So if you would like to protect your hard-earned money and property, call our office, 704-259-7040, or go to our website, mcelderlaw.com. And have a great day. I'm signing off from Miami. So we're on a plane headed to Miami from Savannah.
It's a little terremometer right now.
We're in the clouds.
You guys got two energy breakfasts. You want cheese on the eggs?
No. Thanks. Thank you, though.
No.
I mean, it's not the most terrible thing in the world.
to find one of those in my house.
Last day. You ready to leave? No?
Ready to see my babies, but not
See
to
the
leave.
babies?
Yes.
I'm not ready to leave. But I'm ready to get back. I don't know. That doesn't make sense.
You're ready to get back to work, but you don't.
I got
really
things to do.
relocate.
Yeah. We're working here for a while.